All right, let's talk Lamar Jackson. Let's talk Texans defense and what's been, should be a really interesting matchup, I think. Kind of an underrated game going into this week. A lot of fun games in fact. But we'll start off as we always do with these with the Pro Football Focus grades for specific positional categories for each team. We're going to talk about the Ravens offense in this video. I don't know why I always specify that at the beginning of these videos, even though like you clicked on a thumbnail, you know what we're doing here. But yeah, Ravens offense in this video. One thing you might notice right off the bat, just looking at it with the Ravens, is just how many categories they're really good at, right? I mean, only one category they're not top 10 in. That's receiving, in which they're still 13th best, so still top half of the league there. 6th best passing, and again, that is just pure passing for Lamar. That's not factoring in his rushing whatsoever. 4th best pass block. So for the Texans, like you think about their pass defense is pretty good. 9th best coverage, 11th best pass rush, but against Baltimore, that might not be good enough. That's still advantage Baltimore's favor because of how good they are in that category. And of course, we know about the Ravens run game with the 8th best run blocking and the 5th best rushing as a whole. And again, that is including Lamar. And going up against no slouch here in the Texans run defense, but 16th best still feels like a mismatch there as well, especially when you factor in for Baltimore. You think 8th and 5th, okay, that's pretty good, but also they get an extra blocker, right? Because Lamar will run with the football sometimes. That can give him an extra blocker. So that's just what Houston is going up against. And okay, that might seem a little bit intimidating, right off the bat, but again, matchups are a thing, and you can't just look at a PFF grade and say, oh, well, I guess that's how this game is going to go. You have to watch the film. What will Baltimore do to try and, move the ball against Houston, and what's a way that Houston can potentially attack Baltimore? Well, going over here, this is what they can't let happen, but too many teams do, which is, okay, cover 3 zone on 3rd and 2 for the Cincinnati Bengals. That's, I should mention, these teams did play each other, but they played each other all the way back in week 1. And for me, I kind of figured it'd be better to view this more as like a first-time matchup. The Texans, I mean, again, C.J. Stroud making his first start. They had so many different defensive starters back then. Like, it wouldn't feel fair to really... I did go back and watch that game just, to refresh myself on it, but I felt like we're getting a better visual of who both these teams are, looking at games maybe only a month ago instead of, super long ago. That being said, I ended up using footage from week 2 in this like this play, but this is stuff I've seen all year, not just back then. So that's long-winded explanation there. But yeah, so anyway, watch what's going to happen on this play. Look at how Lamar takes the snap. He runs a play action, and look at how long he has. I paused it right here. This is 5 seconds into the play. That's twice as long as you usually get. So you can't let that happen, but this does happen, right? Because, of course, it happens. I mean, it's so hard to pass rush Lamar because if you make a move, he can get around you, and then you've given up containment. He can run around and pick up a first down, right? So you can't do that. So you almost have to play run defense while you're trying to pass rush. On top of it, like I mentioned, really good pass blocking unit for the Ravens. So while the Houston Texans certainly have guys that I really like, obviously, Will Anderson, given, his draft stock and what he's done this season, he's the one who gets all the attention. But Jonathan Grenard has also played really well this year. But I just don't know, like, even like Derek Barnett, I think has had in his limited sample size has had a good year, but like, will they be able to make stuff happen? I don't know. It's still going to be, it's advantage Baltimore for sure. And when you give Lamar 5 seconds, watch him be able to, yeah, of course he's going to hit somebody eventually. Someone's going to get open if you give him that amount of time, right? So that's just where you have to be careful if you're a fan of the Texans, and that can be an issue. And also, of course, little things like this, just the way Lamar moves the pocket. Again, Lamar's going to win MVP, right? That's who you're going up against. This is the play where I do think the Texans are going to want to play a good amount of zone coverage. This play, it's a cover 2 zone. You see the concept. It's Odell's route going over the middle on 3rd and 3 that they're going to look towards. Watch as when Lamar takes the snap, he does look towards, Odell, but he also moves around, right? He gets outside the pocket, just giving himself a better angle to make this throw. Odell is already pretty open, but now there's not the traffic over the middle that there otherwise could have been. Lamar makes the throw, and they're able to pick up a first down. Also some weird, bonus tackling going on there, in Cincinnati there. But again, All this to say that this is who you're going up against, Houston. You got your work cut out for yourself, right? And they know they do. But this is a defense, like I said, that has played very well and has shown moments where they can make things happen. Going over here, even when they get beat, it feels like they get beat in a okay way, right? Again, we know how they can win, but I kind of want to talk about here what's the way you can beat them? Because I actually think it's in a weird way showing the negative plays of Houston will actually be a positive in terms of the narrative of this game. Where, again, this play, it's zone coverage. You have a receiver trying to run a route underneath Derek Stingley's, zone, which, I got to say, Derek Stingley, I mean, he's had a really good second season, right? I mean, he was someone who I thought as a rookie really kind of struggled, but has really thrived in this situation. But, okay, this is a good route against this coverage, right? A 3rd down and 6 kind of underneath the coverage. Watch as Trevor Lawrence takes the snap. He fires in that direction really quickly, and there is a window. This isn't a huge window, and to be honest, that's kind of what the Texans will give you, is they'll give you these small windows consistently. Watch Stingley close on this ball. That's a catch, but man, is that hard, isn't it? That's difficult to make that run a great route, get a little bit of separation, perfectly timed throw. You had to hold on to the ball as Stingley was hitting your arms and all that to gain 9 yards, right? On you picked up the 3rd down, so good play. But that's kind of what you have to do. To be honest, that's just a lot of what Houston is doing, is they run these, coverages that don't let you get the ball down the field. And Baltimore likes their explosives, but they're going to have to methodically move down the field. And I do think that's a benefit towards Houston. Force them to run 12 plays. Eventually, you are going to get them to make a mistake. So, okay, predictions time here. Who do I have not winning this game? I'll talk about that in part 2 of this video, which should come out, probably tomorrow. It will be out, so be on the lookout for that. Also, if the podcast is, podcast later tonight, podcast is actually at 9 o'clock Eastern, but, once that comes out, I'll give my final score prediction. But as of right here, Baltimore's season offensive points per drive, really good. One of the better ones. It's 5th best in football, 2.48. Houston defensive points per drive has been good, 1.88. That's not otherworldly, but it's been, top half of the league for sure. Previous matchup, the Ravens did very good. They were able to score 2.27 points per drive, and I'll be honest, I think I'm somewhere in that area, maybe a little bit lower, because I do think that Houston can do a good job at kind of limiting the explosives. I'm willing to go 2.2 in this game. I do think that there is some real potential here for Houston to kind of limit stuff. At the same time, though, we all know that, hey, maybe the real highlight of this game, actually, even with the MVP on one side of the ball, could be the Ravens defense against this red-hot Houston offense. Great offense going up against the best defense in football statistically. That should be a lot of fun. But, stay on the lookout for that video. But those are my thoughts here. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And, of course, as always, thanks for watching.